have you, since you've been a pro, seen the work of one of your colleagues that has really, blown you away as a fan, as a comics nerd, that has particularly delighted you as, oh, that is a brilliant take on this character, that maybe a miniseries or something, whether it's a franchise character, whether it's Marvel or not, doesn't matter, that hasn't inspired professional envy, but that you've got a great deal of professional appreciation for, because you guys really know how the sausage is made.
Yeah, I got two of them. Well, I got at least two of them, but two of them are these two guys sitting here. Immortal Hulk. I've read the first few issues of that, and it's just incredible. It's a wonderful take on the character. And you, your Magneto series. I've read the first arc of that, and I thought it was the best take on the character I've seen in some time. I thought there was one other one, but oh yeah. So like basically everything Mark Russell writes these days, he did a Flintstones comic book. A Flintstones comic book that was my favorite comic book of the year. It was filled with social satire and was biting and funny and heartfelt and just, it wowed me. And I, in all those cases, I do also have professional envy.
Well, to continue to love it, I was also a huge fan of that Magneto series. At the time, I think, that was pretty amazing. And as a reread, as part of my kind of Hulk reread, I went back and I was talking to you about this last night. But I went back and had a look at that leader story you had a hand in, and that's just phenomenal. Rereading that now, it's just like it's really kind of. So yeah, I hope I get them to redo that as like a True Believers or something. Give a repeat. But like in terms of stuff that's coming out right now, Chip Zdarsky on Daredevil, I'm blown away by just constantly. It's like issue after issue, it's just one of the best Daredevil comics in a long time, which is a huge thing with Daredevil. I mean, my favorite Daredevil story of all time was the Anna Santi Daredevil. So I mean, I'm not generally into the kind of the grim, gritty, the city is a rainy nightmare kind of Daredevil. But Chip Zdarsky he's doing that, and he's doing it really well, like incredibly well. And I was really impressed with Ewing, the relation who, her first issue of Ironheart, I thought that was probably the strongest debut. And I ran into her recently and I asked, like, had she done any comics work at all before this? And she hadn't. And I thought that first issue of Ironheart was the strongest debut I've seen pretty much ever. And I include, like, somebody on it, his first issue of Black Bolt in that, which was the previous top thing. But like, so that's one. So I guess those would be my two. But there are loads more. I'm constantly being impressed.
I too was really impressed by that Magneto run of mine. My life is a constant state of jealous rage. I mean, there's so many great books. Immortal Hulk's awesome. And that's, to me, that one, I am really angry, because I feel like, not angry at you, but I feel like...
The secret is you're always angry, Cullen.
I feel like, for so long, I said the big two just weren't doing great horror books, and they couldn't, and then they would, and I kept knocking that door, and it was never going to happen for me. And now they've done this, and it's an amazing horror book. And, I think of, there's a few things I think of. Chris Somney, the artist, he and I broke in right around the same time. In fact, we did our first pitches together for books that had never come to fruition, because he pitched the book and the editor said, "You're amazing, let's do something else." And then, it's gone. But Chris has just skyrocketed, and he just keeps getting better and better, and he's such an amazing talent, and hopefully one day we will finally work together. Matt Kent's book, Mind Management, if you haven't read Mind Management, it's a startlingly good series. And then there's a book that I sing the praises of every chance I get, because so few people know this book exists. It's a few years old. It's a book by Ray Fawkes, and it's called One Soul.
That's
And
brilliant.
One Soul is one of the greatest representations of a story that can only be done in comics. And does everything a comic, I mean, it utilizes the comic book form in a way that is unbelievable. And it's an uplifting story, it's a heartbreaking story, and it's just done in such a stunning way. It's just one, I think he did a sequel, and I think they're both available. But One Soul to me is, I mean, I really hold that book in very high regard. And if you haven't read One Soul, you really need to go check it out. It's just one hardcover original graphic novel. I mean, I don't even know how to describe the book, except the book is told in double page spreads. Every spread is 18 panels. Every panel is a moment from a different person's life. You can read the book, you can say, I'm going to read this panel and only that panel all the way through and get an experience. You can read the entire page and get a different experience. As the characters die in the book, those panels go black, and the patterns of the black panels tell a story. It is something that, if you want to see something that comic books can do that nothing else can do, One Soul is the book to see.
I literally just ordered it while you were talking.
And you can too. This panel brought to you by Ray Fawkes' One Soul, one of the great works of modern comics.
I mean, the sequel is also amazing, and it's a similar experience. It's that one's more about relationships, and that's got panels sort of joining together, panels splitting apart as the couples split apart.
It's one world, right?
It's not one word. It's people.
I can't remember the name of it.
I can't remember it. It's people like us, or something like that. But he is doing a third one, and I've got it waiting in a Dropbox, and so I need to read that. But like that, he's an absolutely phenomenal talent, and it's annoying to me that like mainstream comics haven't found a way to like, you know, give him his due at this point.
Yeah.
I think because he works for DC.
I just want DC to give him one of those 12-issue miniseries to do with what he pleases, with whichever character he wants.
Would be the smart thing.
Yeah, look, if anybody knows anybody at DC Comics who's hiring editors, I would serve just to edit a Ray Fawkes book. You guys are here for a couple hours yet this afternoon, yes? So if you haven't gone up to see these guys, peruse their wares, across their palm with some silver, get some comics autographed, please do that. Can we blow the roof off this place, Dallas?
Yeah!